Hi guys, I'm Benji.
And I'm Chelsey.
And together with Michael, we are Herald of Spring.
So we're here at the Ronay Theater today in Ironton, Ohio, and we're going to be answering some of your questions that you have about the music video.
So let's get to it.
So the meaning for the name of our band, Herald of Spring, when you think about the specific words, a herald is an announcer or a forerunner of something. And so the idea is to be a herald of spring is to be announcing this new season where there is growth and new life happening. So when we started working on this musical project and kind of reconnecting with the music of our region, we started noticing there's a lot of negativity and a lot of negative perception around the Appalachian region. And some of that is within, like the way that we view ourselves is very negative. And some of that is from outside kind of sources as well. And as we started writing for this project, we really wanted to bring some positivity to this conversation and just to be able to remind people that there is still good in our region that we call home, and that we can be a part of that. Sometimes when we pay too much attention to the negative stuff, it makes us so discouraged that we don't try to do what we can in our own communities or in our region. So the idea of being a herald of spring is this idea of we want to keep sharing positivity and keep doing what we can through this music to do good for our Appalachian region and to talk about the good in our roots, but also in our future that we want for our region as well.
In C.S. Lewis's Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, there's this beautiful imagery between the winter world that the Ice Witch has locked Narnia in and the spring and kind of like rebirth that Aslan promises that he's going to come and kind of defeat and do away with that evil. And so this idea of winter and spring, good and evil, light and dark, is something that we really have kind of taken to heart in the sense that, like, with either the perception of Appalachia or things that are in the area, it can seem rather dark, whether you look at, some of the bad things that are happening, but there are also a lot of good things. And, we believe that there are good things coming to our region and that we can be part of this change. We can be part of this vision that is looking forward to the good things that are coming. And so when we say Herald of Spring, we really mean the good things that are coming, seeing through the eyes of faith, the expectation and the hope that that we can be something and we can rise up.
The meaning of the song Ghost, when we were thinking about trying to write something that had a little bit of a creepier feel, something for Halloween, I started thinking about, what are the things that haunt us? And you can talk about ghosts in the traditional sense, or you can kind of start thinking along lines of what really haunts us is our regrets and a lot of our problems that we don't know how to face. The idea behind this song for me was this idea that we tend to do everything to run and hide from our problems and nothing to face them, even though the best thing a lot of the time would be to face them somehow, to face those issues and work through them. But that's also very hard to do. And so, you see imagery in the song, lines like, I took the shovel in my hands, dug my weight in dirt, the idea of covering something with earth. Like, we tend to bury our issues or the things that are kind of taboo to talk about. And then there's also imagery of washing sins away that I think is important. We just tend to run and hide from our issues instead of dealing with them outright. And so the goal through the song was maybe to inspire this idea of, although it is difficult, the best way to work through these things is to face them and to be able to talk about them and work through them instead of distracting ourselves or somehow just running from the issue.
So what is the video about? You guys will notice that the first part of the video is actually, kind of a story before the song even starts. And so they kind of tie into each other and have a story that we wanted to try to connect some of the more heady concepts of the song with, like a story that people can relate to, and obviously being Halloween, trying to make it a little bit creepy. So basically my character in the video is writing a letter, and you can't see it on the page, but he's actually writing to a guy named John Rankin who lived in the house that we were shooting in part of the Ironton Historical Association. And so he's writing this letter to him talking about guilt. He's haunted by this guilt that he has, this weight that's hanging over his head. And Chelsey, her character, her apparition is a representation of that. She is kind of the guilt personified. So you can see she's like over my shoulder, and then she's not there. And then as my character is pacing, kind of get a glimpse of it, and he's always kind of distracted by it. It's weighing down on him. So as he goes to the lake parts of the video, passing by, and he's kind of drawn in by, that he can't stop thinking about that guilt. And so it's scary. It starts to draw him in, and he kind of goes out into the water, and as he turns around, he's scared, but he has to face it. And so it's a scary thing, gets dragged under the water, and because he's able to face it, he's able to kind of overcome it. And so as, he's dragged into it, at the very end, he comes out of it. Because he's faced it, he's able to, come out the other side better. And the ribbon in his hand, which is the same ribbon that Chelsey had in her hand whenever she was kind of pointing at him, kind of represents this idea that he has faced it as kind of this, badge of honor, this scar of, I've overcome this. So that's kind of what the video in a nutshell was trying to be. And man, let me tell you, it was cold. Getting in that water, whoo-hoo,
It was a very cold morning.
would not do again.
Yeah.
1 out of 5 stars. What is next for Herald of Spring? Well, unfortunately, we had some plans, but of course, with all plans during COVID, things happen, things get delayed, but we're still working on trying to get our content out there, try to connect more with you guys. Hopefully, play out somewhere would be awesome. Once
Someday in the future.
Yeah, once venues and stuff come back would be really great. One big thing is we're working on a new song.
Yeah, so we have a new song we've been working on called Different Sun, and this one it deals a lot with our time in Singapore, really, and this idea of leaving home and making new life in a new area, adjusting to all of those changes, and kind of figuring out what you keep and what you give up when you're trying to adjust to life in a new place. Which I think is really important, especially for our region. If we're talking about Appalachian culture, we're very family oriented. And so when you leave your home region and go somewhere else, there's a lot of conflicting feelings about what you're doing and what you're losing and gaining. And so that song goes to kind of represent part of what we've learned and part of what inspired this project about writing more music that's a little more traditional to our region and things that really matter to us. So you can expect to be hearing that fairly soon. And hopefully more new music after that as well. But that's definitely the next specific project that we're working on.
So Ghost and Different Sun and a few other of our original songs coming up will hopefully be on our upcoming small album, big EP that has yet to have a title. Part of our upcoming album and EP is going to feature a cover or two, and what we would like you guys to do is in the comment section below, write down what you guys think would be a great cover to style in more of a folk bluegrass, but still kind of putting our own spin on it of a cover song that you guys would like to hear. And maybe we will feature it on our EP or just as a single.
Yep, we'll see. Well, thank you guys again for watching and for being curious about the name of the band and the meaning behind Ghost and also the video. We've had a blast working on these projects, and we're really looking forward to more in the future that we can share with you all. So thank you again for watching.
To keep up to date with Herald of Spring and all the things we're doing, you can subscribe on YouTube, you can like us on Facebook, and follow us on Instagram. Can't believe I got all those right.